Okay. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I just turned off the air conditioning unit for this stream, so let's see how long I can go before the overwhelming heat essentially cooks me alive more than I already am. Hello! Hi, it is a beautiful day that I have mostly spent sleeping, I'm not gonna lie, because yesterday was a very good day, but a very long day, as I went to the beach for the first time, the Santa Monica, for the first time in a long time, and I don't know if you can tell, I'm very burnt. My face actually, funnily enough, isn't, because I was not smart. You see, I decided to bring, I realized, like, wait a minute, you know what I don't want to have happen? I have been inside, away from the sun, for like an entire year. Your boy has no, I'm not ready for a full day directly in the sun, right? So I'm gonna bring sunblock, and I did, and I applied it, and I was honestly a little bit like, yeah, way to, ow, can't pat myself on the shoulder. However, I made one fatal miscalculation, and that is I put on the sunblock before taking my shirt off. Yeah, and I put it on my face while wearing a mask. So, well, the parts of me that you can see are fine because I was wearing a shirt. Everything underneath the shirt, bright. You see that? Look at that pink. Oh, jeez. So, I apologize if I seem like intensely in pain at any point. It's because I am. Sleeping last night was incredibly difficult. I had to go full on shirtless on my stomach. Bless you, child. Hi, Sarah, by the way. Hi, Cass. Hi, Chris. Yeah, so that was my experience. It was a very amazing and wonderful and awesome day, though. I got to see somebody that I haven't seen in like a year, and it was just an absolutely wonderful experience. I filmed a video about it. I got home and had a bunch of feelings about it, about like hanging out with somebody one-on-one since, you know, not being able to. So I still have to edit that. Sorry, I shot it yesterday late at night when I was like, I got home and I still had sand in my hair and my hair was all a mess and I was like sweaty and smelly and sticky. But I think it turned out decently well for being like an off the cuff. May serve you well to wear a shirt when swimming. Honestly, yeah, I should have. I really should have. It was funny. I was at the beach. I took my shirt off and like essentially blinded the entire beach. Because, you know, haven't been outside in a year. I am extremely Caucasian. How did you meet Paul? Honestly, so I was hanging out with my friend Paul. And I don't actually remember. I think it was the kind of thing where when I first moved here, I was desperate for friends. And I don't know if... I had this conversation with Susan last night. I don't remember. I remember our first meeting time. And I remember beforehand we like communicated via Twitter DMs. But I do not remember actually how I found out about his existence. So I don't have an answer for that. But like all of my friends, it started online. Trying a new kind of tea today. The Celestial Seasonings. And we shall see how that goes. Also, at some point, I do have cheese sticks. Because I forgot that I had those. And then saw them in the refrigerator. Got very excited. But it was time to stream. So I just am staring at those. But that was my day yesterday. We got to the place. We got to the beach. And found a free parking spot. Which in Santa Monica is like impossible to find. It's kind of like the last time that we hung out. I told you this story, right? The last time I went to an art museum, which the art museum, the Getty, is free, but parking itself is $20. However, we happened to find we said like screw that and drove 2 miles before we found a spot on the street that we could pull over on the side of the road, and there was nothing saying that we couldn't park there. So we then hiked or walked next to the highway for 2 miles to avoid paying for parking. And it worked out, except once we had our wonderful time at the art museum and stepped outside, it was raining. So we had to get an Uber back to our car, which cost $20. So like, you know, it was the story. Really, it was quite the experience. But yeah, it was really fun to be in the ocean again, and like just be on the beach. We didn't go to the pier; there were too many people. We just kind of stayed way off on the side where there was much less people, but it was a wonderful time. And I'm so thankful for vaccination and just the opportunity to be with friends. But it was really interesting, and I'm basically gonna spoil for you right now, if you don't mind, the video that, like, what I talked about in a video that I filmed that I still have to edit. But it was essentially that, like, you know, I talked about a little while ago how I feel like quarantine is changing me to feel more like an introvert-ish. Oh, exactly 2 years ago, VidCon happened. Holy cow, the last one was 2 years ago? Jeez Louise. That was, honestly though, probably the best note to, like, pause VidCons on. So, that was a wonderful time. But, like, I felt like I wasn't getting, I found Zoom calls exhausting, socially draining in a way that I'd never felt before. Like, I've always self-identified as an extrovert. Not in that I love talking with people, which I do, but it makes me feel recharged and refreshed when I do. And then that, like, I coast on that until the next time that I can be with people. And that's always how I've been. And this pandemic has, doing everything over Zoom, or like Discord and stuff, it's kind of flipped that, where like I felt very exhausted after every call. Don't get me wrong, I still really enjoy it. I just feel like, okay, now I just need to like decompress for a while, just be alone in silence. And I never had that before. But I was really hoping that that would just be the case over Zoom. You know, that it's just because I haven't been with someone in real life. And once I am again, everything will be back to normal and wonderful. And that didn't really happen. I felt like I was acting the entire time. And I'm trying to figure out how to describe it. I don't remember exactly what I said when I was filming, but it was something to the effect of like, in the same way that after you... you know what I think it is? I think it's that after a full year of... I can be having an amazing time. A wonderful time. But if my face camera isn't on... like, this is probably going to be my expression. Just because laziness and face muscles. And you can't do that when you're with somebody. You have to, you know, express yourself. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know exactly what it was, but I always felt like I could very quickly turn away and just like, haha, yeah. Yeah, totally, right? And I don't know. I'm hoping that that will change soon. Again, this is nothing about my friends. They're wonderful, and I genuinely had an amazing, wonderful time with them. I just felt like showing that was a lot harder than it used to be. Or not harder, but just less natural? I don't know. This is something that I'm hoping will fade away. Sorry to get way too vulnerable here, but I don't know. I don't like this. And it's weird in that, I've always felt like it's weird to have something about my personality change without when I don't want it. Like, I like to think that I am the person that I am by choice, and I don't know how I can fit this experience in with that. So anyway, on that lovely note, how was your week? What was super interesting and something interesting, preferably fun, that happened to you this week? So now you know my incredibly not sad, but just, I don't know how to describe it. I'm guessing you're referring to Zoom calls from college. College can't really give you a fix even if you're an extrovert, because even in person, college students don't really exchange energy. I guess that's true. I don't know. I'm hopefully looking forward to the day when I can attend. I'm so curious as to what school is like. And especially when it's like, I don't know, I've never had that. And I'm honestly a little bit jealous of everybody that did. And I know it's like, oh, well, public school is really, crappy. And it definitely can be. Don't get me wrong. I definitely recognize, like, my own, even just, like, a lot of kids want to be homeschooled their whole lives. And I had the luxury of being able to be, and I am very grateful. Well, not my whole lives. Not my whole life, but, like, half of my academic experience, I guess. Yeah, it was exactly half. Hey! Oh my gosh, I never really realized that before. Because it was, well, a little bit more than half. No, 6th grade. Did I do 6th grade? I know I did 6th grade in school, but then did I repeat it? I must not have. Yeah, so then it was exactly half. 6th grade to graduating high school. Huh, that's funny. I'll be honest, Chris, in our times of hanging out, you've had many moments where you took some time for yourself. Sure, you want to hang out and be happy, but you took quiet moments when they're available. Maybe, I think you're right, actually. I don't know. Like, I definitely do find myself, but, like, even then, I feel like that was kind of micro, like, I just need a moment. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. And part of it, too, there's a big chunk of me that's just like, well, then, like, if the labels don't fit you, just screw the labels. Just be you. And that's true. And that's the kind of thing that can apply to many things in life. Sorry to get, like, really serious here, but, like, just personal labels, they can be really fun, honestly. And they can definitely help you if you're struggling to understand yourself. And realize that there are, like, you can understand yourself better and feel like you're not alone, that enough people are the same way where it has a classification. But also, these are just tools to help you understand yourself, Like, introvert and extrovert, or sexual orientation, or gender understanding. Like, all of these things are just tools that we use to understand ourselves, and if it doesn't work, then just toss it out. You have no obligation to it, I guess. And yeah, sorry. I don't know why I'm so, like, intense tonight. It's like maybe your extroversion is muscle that hasn't been exercising as much in person, so don't be hard on yourself. That also could totally be true. I don't know. I guess I need to. And also, I guess part of it too is that, like, still there is an element of maybe fear is a little bit too harsh of a word, but a caution that there wasn't ever before. That's always in the back of my mind. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out until, God willing, like, we can get to the point where this is not as much of a big, deal anymore. Which I guess we just gotta, push for people to get vaccinated and for in this country, and then push for, just, I don't know, man. There's a lot that needs to be done. But yeah. So I think that also is part of it. There's always that thought in the back of my mind that I could have it and be asymptomatic and just not know it, and then I could give it to this friend, and they could spread it to somebody that's high risk in their family, and I would feel responsible. Or they could be asymptomatic, and I could bring it home to my grandmother, and even though we're both vaccinated, like, I don't know, maybe this will be the 1 in a million chance, or maybe I'll catch up from them and then I'll spread it. Like, there's an element of concern, not always conscious, often in the very back of my mind, that there just wasn't before. And I sure don't like it. I don't know what to do about it. Holy moly, I'm sorry that, like, this isn't like a fun, silly time. Yeah, this is a little bit too real. I'm also can I turn the AC unit back on? I'm sorry. I tried to turn it off for good audio. Holy moly, it is incredibly hot in this bedroom. I've been sleeping all day, just trying to, like, physically recover from yesterday's incredible, like, fun, but also mental strain and physical strain. I was so exhausted getting home. And then also didn't, like, sleep particularly well. So, like, I got out of bed at 4:30 in the evening. Which is nuts for me. Like, I never, ever do that. So I'm in, like, a weird headspace right now, essentially. So we can all agree we'll see each other IRL in 5 years. Honestly, please. If things can work out, if we can, like, if everybody can get vaccinated and prevent spread and get this to, like, not nearly as dangerous as it is, then abso-friggin-lutely yes. It's just getting to that point that I'm really hoping we get there. Whew, we're getting a little bit too real tonight. A little bit too raw. It's time for a sip of tea while I desperately try and come up with a lighthearted topic to talk about. Didn't work. But yeah, so can I ask you, like, what has been something really fun and exciting that has happened to you this week? It's glad you went outside. Outside is good. Thank you. I have not stepped outside all day today. Probably should. I've just been sleeping, man. It's just been out, and I'm really hoping that I can fall asleep tonight. I don't know. We'll sure see. But yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. It is what it is. Why is that so hard for me to say all of a sudden? It is what it is. It is. Okay, I think I got it. Sorry, that was a weird little tangent thing. So, yeah. Anywho, that's been my days. Also, a fun, like, on a lighter note, something that happened this week is, so I have been doing college So, no. A bit of context, actually, before I start this story. Back before the pandemic, when I was applying to the college and I was signing up and stuff, you have to meet with a counselor. And I was super excited to. However, because I was like, okay, I'm motivated. I just watched Monsters University, right? And I was like, okay, I'm really excited to do the things. I'm excited to have a plan, essentially, like a checklist that I can get farther down and see that I'm making progress. Not be wandering aimlessly like I feel like I did all through high school and middle school, but like have a definitive set plan. And I met with the counselor, except the previous person that they were with took a lot longer than expected, so they met with me just like 30 minutes before closing, which would have been okay, I guess, but they also happened to be having computer trouble that particular day and they could not look anything up about me, or set any plans in place. So they were like, okay, why don't you come back next week? And I was like, sure. And this was like right before the pandemic hit. And so then, and at that time, everybody was still kind of scrambling. And I didn't think to, I don't know, see if I could do that over Zoom. I was just like, okay, I guess I'm on my own here. And tried to figure out a plan as best I could. And been doing that, and it's been working okay, I think. But I just really hate that I feel like I'm operating blind. Like I'm shooting for a target and I don't know what the objectives are. I just hope that when I get to the point, they'll be like, yes, you did everything correctly. Because I have no idea. So finally, I was able to set up a meeting with a counselor tomorrow. And beforehand, and I'm gonna like show the counselor my plans and be like, look, is this a good idea or not, and what would you recommend? And that feels like such a relief. Like, I'll gladly do the work. I really want to do the classes. I just want to know what classes to take. And so I'm really excited about that. Okay, sorry. That was another cool thing that happened this week. Because I planned all the way out till next winter. So we'll see how that goes. I bought a hammock. I bought a hammock. Best $15 I ever spent. There are hammocks for only $50. Really now? I'll remember that. Went to an affirming church for the first time on Sunday. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. So, yay! It's nice to. I don't know. I'm really happy for you. I bought a new battery camera for my old DSLR. Sorry, I bought a new camera battery, not a battery camera. That's a camera that you just point at a battery. I bought a new camera battery for my old DSLR camera. Old one was no good. Boy, I feel that. I have two batteries for this camera. A really old one from like before I started making YouTube videos, and then the new one that came with it. And I've really thought about just chucking the old one. I want to shoot 24 FPS on a video. It's my only camera that is capable. Nice. I'm excited to see this video, by the way. So, send me a link. Monsters U is pretty accurate to the types you meet at college. See, like, I'm so curious about that. Because I haven't really made any friends over, like, the Zoom at college. In fact, I'm usually, like, the only person that has their camera on. I just know a bunch of names that show up. But there's never any interaction. So it really does feel like I'm homeschooled again. Like, I'm just watching, the curriculum video, the pre-recorded lectures. Or just, receive the list of assignments to do. Like, read this chapter, do this quiz. And I really want to experience that in-person interaction, but at the same time, like, because I have this history of like homeschooling, I know how to work. I know how to do school in this situation that a lot of other people are struggling with to adapt to. And I'm very lucky and very, very privileged in that regard. And I guess it also does work out that because I'm not, going out to dinner with friends all the time and pulling all-nighters, like going to fun parties and stuff, like, I'm really missing out on that, special social times that a lot of people say are the best years of their life. But also it means I have all evening to, like, do schoolwork. So, like, it's helping my grades. I don't know if that's better or not. Big Time Rush is planning something. Oh. They all changed their profile pictures today. I saw that. But didn't, like, one person didn't? I could be wrong. I thought I saw, like, tweets about that. Excuse me. Katie, Caitlin, and I are freaking out. Noise. So how's your honey bunny this week? She's good. Well, having a little bit of a rough time now, but she'll be okay. And making incredible TikToks, which I highly do, recommend. Yeah, I got homeschooled my senior year of college. Then I student taught. Yeah, we are all homeschooled. We are all homeschooled in these unprecedented times. Yeah, it's I don't know. It is what it is, man. And thankfully people are figuring out how to make it work. Logan took a little longer than everyone. Okay, that's what it was. That's how I know about this. Because I hopped on the trending page and I saw now trending Logan. And I was like, what did Logan Paul do right now? And then it wasn't. So that's what it was. Thank you. What are the Paul brothers up to? That's a name that, like, really disappeared in 2018, 2019. Remember, like, 2017, they were it. And then just... they gone. I think they're really into fighting now, but, like, do they even make YouTube videos? I don't know. The best years of my life were not in college. They were with online friends the past several years. Oh, okay, that is wholesome. And yeah, there always is that fear of mine that, like, I've heard, it's so incredibly hard to make friends once you're, like, an adult and out of school. And I'm like, I'm in, like, the final stretch of school in my life, and I haven't made, like, in real life friends. Like, 99% of my friends are over the internet. And so thank you, Chris. That does actually genuinely make me feel better that it's gonna be okay. Yeah. Hang on, let me turn my air conditioning unit down actually a little bit. Wow, it's a little bit chilly in here now. That AC unit really freaking works. 100%. Susan has a really, really impressive TikToks and makeup. I did. Yeah. Yeah, same. Exactly. Honestly. She puts a lot of work into them too. And it's just motivated by excitement. Because it's the kind of thing where she said, like, this is what I've wanted from a social media for a while, because it's pure creativity without really many expectations. And I'm not quoting her from this, but this is kind of the vibe that I've picked up from her, right? Because it's like, I don't know. It's just a place where she can share things that make her happy, which is really cool. And I think, like, what social media should be used for. So, yeah. The Paul Bros are boxing people now. Really? Okay, so they full on are into that now. The evolution. If you could go back to 2017 and someone said, like, have you heard of Logan and Jake Paul? And you'd be like, oh, the boxers? They'd be like, what are you talking about? Which is really what? No, the rappers. The Singers. Ohio fried chicken. Don't judge me because I know what that song is, okay? Don't you judge me. Yeah, it's been heck Vine days. You're right. They were Viners. You remember Viners? It's so weird how, except for a very specific few quotes that have like made their way into essentially public domain, like I only remember maybe 5 Vines at all. The rest are all gone to memories. Right? You got like Free Shavakadu. You got Road Work Ahead, obviously. We got a lack of focus. There we go. You got what even are any more Vines? Oh yeah, I guess Jamie Costa Vines. But I don't know, it's just weird how something that was so, and I guess they're all preserved on like, you know, in YouTube Vine compilations. But like it's just weird that those have just disappeared from our public consciousness. Speaking of things that were really hot but then disappeared, I re-downloaded Pokemon Go recently. And that's been interesting. Just cause like summer of 2016 was a time, and it was a very wholesome time, I feel like. I remember me and Andrew, we were playing Pokemon Go together, and like everybody out in public was on their phones, and we all knew what we were doing, and it was really like cool. There was a guy that was on a Segway, so he could like get the points for walking, but you know, not tired, but go fast, but not go too fast where it thinks that you're in a car. I don't know. It is funny to like, I don't know, go back on that. Anyway, speaking of Vines, we got some classic Vine quotes. Go back to sleep and starve. Arkansas. Oh, truly a classic right there. Look at all those chickens. This is just gonna be Chris badly recreates Vines now. Look at all those chickens. Bad recreations right here. Well, when life... Wait. For this one. Hang on. Okay. Well, when life gives you lemons. Dun da 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 da. Beep. Ugh. But of course, 2 bros sitting in a hot tub. I still hold that is my favorite Vine of all time. Dear Diary, today I lost my diary, so I'm writing this on my Kung Fu Panda 2 DVDs. Classic. Yeah, Danny Gonzalez. Oh, I can't actually think of any of its Vines. Why am I blanking? That wasn't Danny Gonzalez. I'm sorry. That was, oh my gosh, I know him. I'm subscribed to him on YouTube. I love his stuff. Drew Gooden. Sorry. Yes, very classic. I got a selfie with him at VidCon 2017? 2018. 2018. Yes, it was 2018. I know that because Anna was there. Anna Cat Meow. Thomas Sanders. That's another name I haven't heard in quite a while, actually. I wonder how he's doing. I hope he's doing good. I am Drew, and I am Danny, and we are not the same person. We may have similar lives, we may have similar wives, but we are different nonetheless. Sometimes I still forget that there is music playing right now, and like the two things don't mesh very well. So apologies. Sanders is on TikTok, still good, still a vibe. Okay, good, nice. I'm glad. Because he seemed like a neat dude. Neat. Would you have a layover in China? Yeah, totally. They've been handling the pandemic a lot better than the US is. So the question isn't would I stay there, it's would they allow me in? Which is not the case right now. But yeah, absolutely. I didn't have a phone in 2016, so I didn't have Vine. I am so sorry. No. Oh man. I remember making Vines. And terribly doing them. Holy cow, I found a bunch that I'd saved before they all got wiped. They're the worst. Like, yeah. Anyway, that was an experience. But like, it's like it's like a wholesome cringe. I started to look back at my past self and like, yeah, it's like, oh, this stuff is terrible. But it's like, oh, but I remember being in that headspace, and what mattered wasn't as, and I think I said a couple times, like, I'm sure in the future I'm gonna look back at all of this and cringe hard, but what matters is I'm having fun. And that's kind of the way I feel. Like, yeah, I cringe at a lot of my old like videos and photos that I posted and stuff, but like, it's a wholesome cringe because I remember I didn't really care if the final result was good. It's like if I had fun making it, and anything that I wasn't having fun making, I just dropped. And that meant that everything that you saw, everything that I put out, had good memories with it. So when I go back and look at it, I just remember those memories, which is I think a good way to approach this kind of stuff, and I've definitely been leaning into that more. Excuse me. So, and also, like, you want to know what's up with Chris lately? What the latest thing he's still trying to figure out? And if you watch my like secret vlog channel, not the big one with Susan, but like I have another one. I've been kind of experimenting with shooting log with cameras and trying to like grade it and still get used to that. And in fact, I feel like I'm worse now than I was before. But if you're wondering what that means, wait, hang on. Essentially, you shoot oh my gosh, down. There we go. You shoot things that look super gross like this, and then you can bring the color and contrast back. I'm not very good at that yet, but I hope to be able to. And this is kind of the thing, though, that I feel like I've done a lot of, where I'm like, I want to learn how to grade this footage, not because I expect to, like, correct log footage professionally in my future, but just because it's something I want to learn how to do. Oh, look at all that contrast now. Wow. Wait, where's the performance mode? There we go. So, okay. Hi, Hannah. Basically the same idea as shooting photos in RAW so you can edit it more vividly. Yeah, exactly. It is a little bit different in that a lot of like programs that you use to edit RAW photos will apply some level of like curves and saturation. So the photo you get still looks good. It just, you can edit it more. Versus with this, you get the flat TM look, and it's up to you to grade. You get many more colors, but it's also shooting like 10-bit in a different color space. I believe I was trying to record it. Was I recording it? Oh yeah, BT 2020 for my color space instead of Rec 709. And making this look good is actually surprisingly difficult because this would be underexposed. You need to boost it by like 2 stops, I want to say. So really you shoot it like this, which looks okay when you're shooting in log, but if I switch over to take the log off, this is pretty friggin' bright. This is like heaven. So yeah, it's just trying to figure out how, yeah, now this looks a little bit better, but figure out how to do this effectively. I'm all throughout the week. I set my camera up in my little like recording section, hold this out, I'm like, okay, neutral gray, I believe this needs to be exposed for like 32 IRE. This is white and black. Good luck editing, Chris. And then I pull it into Final Cut, and then I struggle to edit it. Okay. No more the nerd talk. Oh, it's still overexposed. There we go. That's about right? Yeah, 60, 28, 1600. Nice. JK, I love doing that type of photo editing. It is fun. And yeah, but it's the kind of thing that I want to learn just for myself. And I definitely have a long ways to go, but it's like any skill where you can only get better by practicing. So I have a lot of practicing to do, but hopefully that will lead to, like, you know, decent results. Oh, thank you, Hannah. I do appreciate that. And yeah, that's kind of what I want to do when I'm not working, because holy moly, my next like college classes are going to be more intense than they've ever been before. So more classes crammed together. Like, because I'm doing like the summer semester, so I'm doing two classes in 1 month, which is going to be, I know for like that's objectively not a lot, I guess, but for somebody that's still feel new to college, so like doing 6 units in a month is like scary to me. But or 6 credits or whatever you call them. In 1 month is like, oh, that's a lot. Wish me luck, because I'm gonna need it. I'm gonna have to edit this video because I won't be able to once the fun begins, and I don't even know what I'm gonna do with YouTube during all of it. I don't know, I'll figure it out later. But that's kind of one of the reasons why I want to figure out shooting log now, so that when the time comes, I can shoot like good, high quality, pretty videos. I want things to be even more aesthetic than they already are. And I just don't know how to get there quite yet. I have this picture in mind of what I want things to look like, and it's essentially Evan Edinger's look. In fact, can I show you real quick? Hold up. Can I? Yes. Let me show you the kind of look that I want. Oh, well, that didn't work. Oh, I hit. Ah, shoot. Here we go. The kind of look that I'm going for. Hi, Evan. Don't mind me. Like this look. You see how it's like... It's pretty. Like, it's colorful, but it looks very, very natural. I keep pausing on when he's making the worst faces. But this right here is the kind of look that I'm going for, and I still have a while to figure out to go till I got that, but hopefully it should eventually happen. Or like this. You see how this looks very... Either a combination of this and also like 2016 Dan and Phil. Whoops. Oh, that it has some language, I know. But like this kind of look where it's very like soft and natural. I feel like lately these have started to look more like a set as I've added more lights, and don't like that. So those are my goals, and I just need to figure out how I get there. Hi, Holden. Hi. Sorry, got me nerding around. I know I said I wouldn't nerd around anymore, but here we are. I did it. Oops, I did it again. Yeah, it's just a long process of learning and learning and then applying what you learn. And I'll get there eventually. I'm sure I will. I just gotta stick with it. Anywho, boy, this is not like this has been a much more serious night, serious hour, or I guess 45 minutes than I've had in quite a while. I don't know exactly what has caused this, but you know, we're just kind of going with it. We're going with the flow. But nerding is so fun. It is. It, it really is. I've really started to rely on the histogram more and more because, okay, this is like a photographer no-no, but I stopped using a histogram to expose, and I trusted my computer screen too much because my old computer screen was too like dark, so I would constantly overexpose and over edit in post. And I thankfully finally got a new screen, and it has a color accurate setting for editing photos, but then it has a really vivid pretty one. And I've been known to edit in the really vivid pretty one because it just looks more pleasing to my eyes. And I have not trusted the histogram. I was like, it's saying it's too dark, but it looks perfectly fine to me. Time to export it and send it to somebody. And then I look at it from an actually like calibrated display and realize it is so dark. So, anywho, had to exit. Can't watch Dan and Phil until I watch famous YouTuber. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Sorry for. I should have put a spoiler warning. But yeah, nope. That's all. Just looking at lighting. What can I say? I am a sucker for lighting. But it's always a hard with these windows that I have right here. Like usually during the day, there's a lot of light pouring in behind me, and I have to choose. Do I go for like bright lighting on my face, because like your subject should be the brightest thing in your image, and that's even something that I'm not doing as well right now as I should be. I should have everything in the background be darker than me a little bit, so I stand out more. So it should be more like that. Oh, and then I need to turn that down a little bit, but I can't. So I gotta choose, like, do I go for, but the more light that I point at me, the harsher it's going to be. So like right now, my current lighting setup is a rather jerry-rigged. You see this softbox right here with a diffuser thing on it that is pointing through this diffuser here. So I'm still pointing the light directly at me as opposed to bouncing it off a wall, which I like the look of better. But when you do that, you don't get as much light. Like you lose so much just random bouncing everywhere, which looks softer. But yeah, it means that it doesn't. Anyway, random question. Have you ever had to protect your cords from pets? Honestly, not really. I don't think I've. Oops, you can see the light that's causing the blue cast. I haven't, but that is definitely a thing. Because I love my bun, but the second I forget my cord, my bun numbs on it. Oh no. Hopefully it's not something that has like electricity running through it. But yeah, yikes. I think there's like specific things that you can buy for your cores that prevent that. Like essentially smaller pool noodles that gives them something to chew. Also, that kind of like rewards it. Maybe they should make it taste bitter. I don't know. I really don't know what the right thing to do is in that situation. Chris, just make a video on your current lighting setup. Don't tempt me. I want to. I really want to. Would you be interested in that? Huh. I will keep that in mind. Okay. Yes, I'm sorry. It is a Cass fact time. It is Cass's time to shine. Cass fact, Cass fact. Here we go. Ready for the overly complicated metaphor? It is time for Cassidy as to take her role on as the fact dentist, to open up the jaws of the history of human existence, and with a little flashlight, because that's how dentists work, peek through and look and try and avoid the halitosis of our crimes, and peek through and look for the fact hidden deep behind, stuck behind a tooth that then you can take and extract from, like a tonsil stone. And this is significantly more gross than it probably should have been. I'm sorry, Cass. Which you then proudly display. Okay, maybe I should do another one because that was way too gross. It is time for Cass to be like when you're a kid and you randomly stumble upon a blackberry bush. But the thing is, blackberries in real life aren't quite the same as in the store. You have to like dig a little bit and find a good one that hasn't been eaten by bugs or doesn't have bugs in it. So you're looking through and you finally see the perfect one, but it is buried relatively deep within a whole bunch of brambles and thorns, and you got to make a decision. Is that delicious, succulent, juicy blackberry worth potentially getting really scraped up, or maybe like some ticks on you? And you decide, darn it. If you don't, you'll be thinking about it all day. So you gotta, being very careful, grab individual blackberry brambles, pull those back, and pray that you don't actually accidentally like have one that was being held back slip loose and then smack you in the face as you squeeze yourself through that tiny little hole that you made, and while with one hand holding the rest of those brambles back, you grab and you eat that delicious blackberry. And Holden, are you pulling this for experience at my house? Yes, I am. I was definitely thinking of your backyard. Anyway, sorry. Okay. Me, a fact dentist, currently wearing a mouth guard. Okay, sorry. Cass fact. Here we go. Oh gosh, do I need to absquatulate is another term meaning to depart in a hurry. Example, I wanted to absquatulate from Chris's intro. Fair. That is in fact a very cool fact. Hi, Audra. Absquatulate. I think I'm saying that right. Right? Absquatulate? Absquatulate? I'm not sure how else you pronounce that. I think that's right? But yes, I was definitely I wasn't thinking of a specific incident, Holton, but I was definitely picturing like myself in like back then in your surroundings, shall we say. How did you know? Anyway, thank you, Cass. Everybody, give a round of applause to Cass for the amazing Cass fact. I'm totally gonna share that with my aunt. We often send words to each other or interesting words that we've heard. Nice. That is certainly a word. Absquatulate. That's so good. Well, I guess in 5 minutes we will absquatulate from here. I really want to add that to my vocabulary, but then just like casually comment it during the day, like just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go absquatulate over there, and then just let people be like. But when you say it right with enough self-confidence, people are going to think like, am I the weird one for not knowing what that means? So thank you, Cass, for changing the course of my conversations forever and ever. What a Sasquatch with abs. Sabs squatch. Ab squatch. It's buried in there, but yeah. Anyway, thank you, Cass, for enlarging all our vocabularies and for educating us. I guess I should probably start wrapping this up now, but yeah, seriously, thank you for letting me essentially talk. I think I've said before how like just communicating this stuff really helps me a lot. To have like a full dedicated hour where I feel like I can talk. It is kind of like a therapy session, kind of, not quite. I don't want to downplay the helpfulness and seriousness and effectiveness of therapy, but it is therapeutic for me to know that there is like a full hour where I can just talk about life, and things that have been going on in my life, and know that people care. Honestly, that's what it comes to. So genuinely, thank you for making it so I look forward to Monday nights. I'm so grateful. I just looked it up, and absquatulate is not valid for Scrabble. You know what? House rules. Let's make it valid. It is valid if you want it to be, because it's your game. Yeah. We get to hang out. I look forward to it every week. Same. And thank you. And yeah, every Sunday I get really excited and start trying to think of names, which is not always successful. Obviously tonight's was a very last minute one, but I was like, ow, I'm burnt. That's a thing. House rules make everything better. Honestly, have you ever played, my friend Andrew has house rules for the game Uno, and they make the game so much better. It's like when, what is it? When a 5 is placed, everyone slaps, and the last person to slap their hand on the pile has to take the entire hand. Or the entire pile, excuse me. When reds are in play, silence. Every word spoken is a card. So if you say like, oh, my bad, that you have to pick up 3 cards. There's a whole bunch of other rules that I cannot remember. But those are really, really fun. So yes, house rules make everything better. Oh, thank you, Audra. I really do appreciate this. Have you ever played Mao? No, the house rules for Uno reminds me of that game. Really? I will look into that because I'm really interested. I'm always looking for new games. Played Chameleon with some family a little while ago, and that was really fun. I really, really love that game, and I love watching people play that game. So, yes. Anyway, I guess I'm going to now absquatulate myself from this stream. Okay, it's gonna take a little bit of practicing, getting used to saying it, but it's gonna happen. I'm gonna incorporate that in my vocabulary. Thank you again, Cass. And I will see you all next Monday, 7 p.m. You can play with it's a very cool game. You can play it with a deck of cards, so it doesn't require any extra boards or anything. Nice. I will look this up because I'm really interested. Thank you. And I just got a text that one of the classes I signed up to just opened up. So I have a whole bunch of like welcome information to read. I guess I'm gonna go do that now. I hope that you have an amazing night and honestly just an incredible rest of your week. And something really dope happens to you. I hope that happens. So I will see you next week, same time, same place. Yes. And I might have updates about college. And in the meantime, please remember to stay positive and to stay white and absquatulate from situations you don't want to be in. I love that word. Absquatulate. It's so fun. Absquatulate. How can you not love that word? Okay. And still